Welcome students. This subject is building material, construction and planning, and we are seeing about the materials in the first unit, and we have seen about the stone, bricks, tiles, aluminium and gypsum, and today class we are going about the glass. Okay, one of the modern construction materials, glass. So here you can see glass has been fascinating material to the mankind from 500 BC. Okay, you can see from 500 BC this glass is very available for the construction purpose. Okay, as we saw gypsum, it is from 6000 BC, but aluminium and all came just now, right? It was introduced just now, and it is the oldest materials in the building industry. One of the oldest and versatile material. It is a durable and it is there in the building material in the building industries, right? The prehistoric time, it is called as the two types. One is the obsidian. Obsidian is the naturally occurring glass found in the volcanic region due to the volcano lava. Then the next one, it is the fulgurite. Fulgurite is the glass found naturally after lightning strikes the sand. Okay, these are the two main things that the glass formed, and from that glass have been used in the former, that is the prehistoric time, that is in the BC, right? And yes, that is up to 15th, 16th, 17th century we are using, and mainly it is used for making weapons, and the man-made glass was used as a luxury materials in the decorations, jewellery, vessels and crockery. Even on opal of the plates, it is very costly compared to the ordinary place. Okay, so what the glass blowing was found in 1st century, where they have revolutionized the glass making industry. Formerly in 500 BC they have used the glass that is from the lightning and the volcano, and they have started manufacturing the glass from the 1st century, and you can see that they used this manganese dioxide saw glass being used for the architectural purpose, and cast glass windows began to appear in the most important buildings. Over the next 1000 years, glass making spread through all over Europe and Middle East, and Anglo-Saxon glass was used in churches and the cathedral even in the 7th century. You can see in the 7th century itself, in the churches and the cathedrals, you can see in so many Roman churches they will have this Anglo-Saxon glass. One of the main that is from there only this gold Sobine glass, right, that came into existence. So glass was still an item of surgery. Okay, it is a luxury. We see now glass as a luxury product only. Oh, it is a glass building. We say, wow, it is a glass building, like that. Okay, in 1958, okay, recent year, this person, Pilkington and Bickerstaff introduced the revolutionary float glass process to the world. So this process, what they do now, they introduced the glass reforming process by which the glass are able to form as a sheet of uniform thickness and very flat surfaces. Modern windows are made from float glass. Okay, so we can see what are the glass that we are using, right? So before going in for the class, once again you will see now. It is 3500 used BC we used as a beads. 1700 BC it is used as a decorative material, vessels and carvings. In 1500 BC it is used as the vases or the decorative that is vases as a decorative material in the home. And it is 900 BC we have used this colorless glass as a mosaic material, and it is started. Mosaic is also having so much of glass particles in it. On 600 BC, manual making of glass started. 100 BC, poor quality glass windows were there. On 11th century, flat sheets of glass were started. 14th AD, this glass blowing tube is started. And 15th, 17th century, crystals, decorative items, jewellery items were found. And flat glass for mirrors was taken only at the end of the 17th century. And as on now, we are using the glass plenty in almost all the field. Okay, so now the next one, even you can see now, before some days, before the IT came into existence, before 2000 we can say, this glass panel are there, not glass windows were not there, decorative purpose, aesthetic views are not there. But nowadays you can see all the IT field, the outer windows are made up of either a glass or an aluminum paneled fiber windows. Okay. So if it is industrialization, flat glass was produced by means of manual methods, that is casting or cylinder technology, but nowadays we are using the float glass technology, right? So here you can see that after the existence of 17th century, the glass production, that is the flat glass production, was started. Since 1982, the glass was processed as a round, that's it. And after the 1892, there was a revolution by which the first color neutral insulating glass was formed. After finding out this thermal insulating glass, it was started widely used for the windows. Okay, now you understand why I told you in IT field, after IT field come into existence, why this glass is widely used in order to in the IT field is that it is a centralized AC building. Mostly all the buildings are centralized AC in order to protect the computers. So what we are using there is the insulating glass. So it was found in 1982 and mostly widely used after 2000. You can see some of the glass making old industrial process. Okay, right? So now we'll see some of the properties of the glass, and then we'll see the types of glass, and we'll see about the uses of glass. So properties, the first one, it is a transparency. So it is having a transparency which we can see from inside and outside, and we can have some additional admixtures to it by which we can even impart color, or even we can make it that one side we can see outside and the other side it will be a opaque medium. Okay, so nowadays the houses, the windows are made up of like that only. From inside we can see outside, from outside they cannot see inside. Even that is called as a tinted glass. Even in the cars and all we are having that type of glass. That is the electrochromatic glazings. Okay, so the next one is the U value. U value is the measure of how much heat is transferred through the window. Okay, so the U value of this glass or the electrochromatic glassing glass is very low, and it can be used as a window which is having a better insulating properties of the glass, better than keeping the heat cold out. The next one, it is the strength. The strength of the material is very weak compared to the if I am going to take it as a glass, but when I am going to draw it as a wire, as a glass fiber wire, the tensile strength is very high rather than the steel materials. Okay, but with the advent of science and technology, certain laminates admixtures can be increased, by which the modulus of rupture is nothing but the E value at the failure, ability to resist the deformation and the load at the failure load, it will be increased. Greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effects refers to the circumstances where the short wavelength of visible light from the sun is passing through the glass, which are now UV lights that we are now protecting with the help of some electrochromatic layers. Okay, so the next one, it is a workability. So before that, it is before 1984, it is very difficult to process the glass, but after 1984 it was very okay with processing the glass, and it can be even drawn to a thin wire. Drawn to a thin wire, we call it as a GFRP, right? This is very important in the concrete, mostly used for the repair of the concrete structures. This is glass fiber reinforced polymer concretes, right? They are used for the repairing purpose. Okay, so and recyclable, and 100% of the glass is recyclable. The glass can be recycled into any other shapes, whatever the shapes that we want, and it is a solar heat gain coefficient. Fraction of the sunlight can be that is reflected. Some of the light can be refracted, some of the light can be held back, which can be used for the heat gain coefficient. And visible transmittance. So we can see how much sunlight or how much it is coming into it. The visible transmitter is there. So how much light will go out, how much light will come in. And the acoustic control is there depending upon the thickness of the glass. And the energy coefficient will be there. This is used for the glazing purpose. Okay. So the next one, it is a polycarbonate. The polycarbonate, this elastic is 300 times stronger than glass and is resistant to the most chemicals and is twice as lighter than glass. It has a high abrasion value. It is having a high abrasion value and impact resistance. It can transmit as much light as it can, and it is acrylic. It is made up of thermoplastic. Right? The thermoplastic is weather resistant, and it is mostly used for making the greenhouses. Okay, this since it has in a polycarbonate layer, it is used for the window, greenhouse glazings and other things. The next one, CRP panels. I told you now, this is GRP panels is nothing but glass, fiber, polymer panels. Okay, so these panels are combined with polymers, they are formed, and it is very good in reducing the insulation to reduce the heat loss. It is used in the construction of the composite housing. Right, so the glass fiber plastics are used for produce house building components. Okay, so then ELTE, this is nothing but ethylene tetrafluoroethylene is a plastic with high strength and corrosion resistance. So when it is mixed with glass materials, it provides strong self-cleaning and recyclable glass materials. Glass will be highly self-cleaning property. One of the other nowadays they are using it for the big buildings and on the car as a self-cleaning. It is the nano titanium oxide coating. Okay, nowadays it is there. Next we will see about the type of glass: float glass, tinted glass, shatterproof glass, laminated glass. Right, this is the second time. So extra clean glass, double glazed units, or we call it as the insulated unit glass, chromatic glass, toughened glass, glass bowls and glass blocks. So float glass. Float glass is made up of sodium silicate and calcium silicate, and usually it is called as soda lime glass, or we call it as the clear glass. It is a tumblers which we use it in the home and all for the glass tumblers. We call it as this float glass, and it is made up of sodium silicate and calcium silicate. Okay. So it is having different thickness from 2 mm to 20 mm, and it has a weight of 3 to 36 kg per meter square. It can be in lightweight, also it can be in heavy weight, and this is produced by annealing process, the molten glass, and it is clear and flat. The modulus of rupture is 5000 to 6000 psi. I told you what is modulus of rupture means. The modulus value at failure load, okay, failure load, modulus of elasticity only, but within the elastic limit we find out the modulus of elasticity. Modulus of rupture we found out for the material at a failure load. Okay, so stronger than it is sometimes it is very strong in the hardness. Okay, it is very hard, and also the thickness, it is ranging from 6 to 36 kg per meter square. It can be very transparent, or it can be available in the different colors. The next one, it is the tinted glass. Okay, some materials are added to the glass materials in order to get the tinted glass. It can be a very colorful glass, right? But it can be very transparent, or we can have some designs in it. Okay, so sulfur of different composition, concentration can make the glass yellow, red or black. Copper sulfate can turn it to blue. Like that, different materials are added to the glass particles to impart some colors in it. And the next one is toughened glass. Toughened glass, we call it as a tempered glass. It is heated and it is very good in resisting the heat, and it will have low distortion and low visibility, but it breaks into small dice-like pieces at modulus of rupture at 3600 psi. Right? Hence, it is used in making fire-resistant doors, and they are available in same weight and thickness range as the float glass. Okay, in the float glass, it is there as a 2 mm to 20 mm thickness, and it is available at a weight of 6 to 36 kg per meter square. The same type of the same, that is the sizes it is available with the toughened glass. The next one, it is a laminated glass. The laminated glass is nothing but it is two glass layers will be like this. Okay, two glass layers. In between it will have some protective layers in between. So it is sandwiched glass. We call it as a laminated glass. Normally the glass that is laminated will be within the wood or within the steel particles. Okay. So the laminations, what will the lamination helps into protects the UV radiation up to 99% and insulates the sound by 50%. So the glass, some glass will have the sound acoustic proofs is less. Towards acoustic it is very less insulated. So when it is insulated between some thermal proofing material or acoustic proofing materials, it can be used. Mainly used in the glass facades, aquariums, bridges, staircases, floor slabs. Okay. So if I am going to take a building like this, okay, or I can say the building like this, it is there, right? Here it is there, here it is there. The outside there is so much of glass panels are there. That is, we call it as a facades. Okay. So in the IT building, all the buildings will have the glass facades outside. The next one, it is a shatterproof glass. It is added, glass is added by polyvinyl butyl layer. Okay. So the shatterproof glass is made. So it is like what is there now? It will have a similar, that is shattering effect in it, right? It will have a sharp, does not form the sharp edged pieces. Even when it is broken, it will give you a smooth edged pieces. It is used in skylight, window and flooring, etc. Mainly in the mosaic floorings we use this type of shattering glass, shatterproof glass materials. And the windows also nowadays, if the windows are broken down into small pieces, the pieces will not be hurting. So for that we can go in for this shatterproof glasses. This shatterproof glasses is little bit more cost. Okay. So the next one, it is you can see here, it is a whole building, whole way is made up of the shatterproof glasses. It can be giving a very web-like feeling, or it can be, that is, it is not very easy to break. But even if it is easy to break, that will not give a very sharp edges. Okay. So actually this shatterproof glass was invented by an accident. Okay. So this Edward, a French chemist, so he put this glass down, right? He dropped the glass down accidentally, and that is a glass flask. Glass flask that is coated with cellulose nitride. He dropped it down. He noticed that the glass did not shatter to a long distance, and it is not having very that is thick, that is sharp edges. So from that he found out, and this is where he found it in 1909. Then it was very good in use in the automobile industries. The next one, extra clean glass. Extra clean glass, we call it as the hydrophobic. That is, hydrophobic means it is fear towards the water. Right? Similar to that, this glass will not hold the water. It will allow the water to pass through. Okay. So we will have a layer coated outside. So the layer will be a photocatalytic layer. Right? It will mostly this nanoparticles that are used and break the dirt. That is, if there is a nanoparticle, that is a glass like this is there. If there is some dirt there, okay. In the storm of sunlight, it will be like this. If there is any rain comes, means this particles will be moving down, and this will be the glass that is formed. Okay, so what is the coating that is there? It is the nanoparticles. Mostly it is a nano titanium oxide is used. This is a very major and the current that is currently it is available from 1909, and it is used for almost all the car glasses. Everywhere it is coated with nano titanium oxide, by which this water will not get stagnated on the glass. It will move away, washing the dirts also. Okay, the double glazed units is nothing but the laminating units. It is insulating units. Okay, So it is providing air gap between two glass planes. We have two glass panels. In between we'll have some small air gap. That air gap will be acting as an insulating layer. So this is a double glazed units, or we call it as a insulating glazed units. Okay, insulating glazed units. It is very good in the case of air conditioning and energy, green building energy. Efficient glass can reduce the impact. The 30% of the loss due to the heat can be reduced. Next one, it is a chromatic glass. Can control the daylight and transparency effectively. These glass are available in three forms. One is photochromatic, thermochromatic and electrochromatic. Photochromatic is the light sensitive lamination on the glass, and the thermochromatic is the heat sensitive lamination on the glass, and the electrochromatic is the light sensitive glass or the transparency which can be controlled by the electricity switch. Okay, now this is the optic balls has been come due to this electrochromatic light layers. Okay, it can be used in the meeting rooms and the ICUs. Now the next two things are glass wool and glass block. Glass wool is a thermal insulation material which is fixed in between the two glass panels, which acts as a very good acoustic layer, and also it is very flexible, and it is used as a thermal insulation layer, and it causes a package air and consequent make insulating materials. Okay, so these glass blocks, hollow glass wall blocks are used which separate the two materials to each other, everything, so that it can be used. This type of glass brick walls are used mainly in the where we need this vacuum, right? So obstruction in admitting the light, we are using this glass blocks. So it is some of the materials that we are using. It is one of the glass house that they have used. This is a glass house, and you can see it is used for a decorative purpose. This is a reflective glass. This is used inside a building. Okay, right? Okay, the next one, it is a glass, insulating double panel or laminating glass panel used to the windows, and it is a scattered glass panel. Now we will see how the glass is used as a landscaping materials. Landscaping materials is nothing but the materials that is used mainly for the scaping the land, or the using for the decorative purpose in order to reduce the heat loss, energy loss, loss of water, everything that we can use it. Okay. So our first one, it is in the mulches. Mulches are nothing but mostly this if there is a decorative plant or tree in between the gardens, then we will have some these trees are there now. Surrounding this we will have this mulches, a glass mulches we will have, so that it will avoid the evaporation of water. Okay. So mostly it is used as a mulches, and you can see here, if there is a garden, it is there in the center, there is a tree, and we will use it as a, here you can see now some trees are there, we can use it. Here we can use the glass panel surrounding, where we can use it. Okay, so the glass mulches are unique, less maintenance, and these have vibrate currents and it won't fade. Right, these mulches will not fade even in the sunlight, alternative sunlight and heat, that is rain. And also the environmentally it is friendly, it is a green landscaping. It adds beauty and character to the outdoor entertainment area. It gives a richness to the place, and also it is very clean and alternative of the logs and lava rocks. It lasts for lifetime without even burning, melting and discoloring. Enhance your backyard landscape. Customize your fire pit to complement your taste. The next one, it is glass that is used in the pavements. Either it is used in the pavements, and above this we can have a glass layer, or the glass chips which can be used, and above which we will have a transparent pavement layer similar to this, or we can use it for the different layers, different colors which will give color to the landscaping. And the next one we will have even this type of pavements also we can have. The next one, it is other sculptures. So you can see there are different types of glass that we can use it. Here also we can use it the glass windows. It is used where the that is thing is drawn behind. Okay, it is a very transparent window. Here you can see it is one of the very big sculptures that you can see. It is made up of glass. And the next one, what are the other uses is that it is used to supply natural daylight. It protects from rain, wind and cold. It is transparent and translucent. And it is means of communication. It can be used as a means of communication, heat protection and sound protection. And it is good in personal protection. It is good in fire protection. The temporary heat and solar protection can be made. And it is good use of solar energy. It can absorb the solar energy and it can be used. And it gives the design means of design and electromagnetic dampening. And what is the use as a structural member, okay, in the construction field? So I told you the facades are mostly that are used because of this glass, okay. So the facades are used because it is having a strong and it can be formed as a truss system. So in the different trusses, to cover this we can use the glass, and cable truss are formed, grid shells are formed, cable net are formed, glass pins are formed. This glass can be used for several purposes. And this is another usage in the construction field. It is used in architecture and also the construction. One is the facades. Facades, I told you, it is the outer layer of the building which acts as a protection shield from the rain and the sun. Okay. So it is a building that is there. So here you can see the stained ribbon sliding, any type we can have. The cladding in with the structural glazing is have. It will have a surface treatment like chemically coated, plainly painted, and even it is having an TiO2 so that the dirts will be cleaned off. The construction field, it is used as a glass as a material for load bearing elements. Okay, the sky roof for the roofing, the north light roof, everything is there. Partition walls, it can be used. Staircase, it can be used. Beams and floors, it can be used. The laminated glass panels. Okay, so the next one we see the glass for green buildings. All of you know the green building concept is nowadays so much there. So this glass type of house can be made, and in between that we can go in for the vegetation and other things which will be very efficient. Okay. So the reflective glasses come with reflective coatings that filters heat and let the optimum light into the building. Reduce the heat gain inside the building and thus reduces electricity and cooling cost. Allow optimum light inside the building and thus reduces the cost of artificial lighting. So what are the advantages of the glass is that the glass absorbs and refracts and transmits light. It can be made transparent or translucent, and so it adds extraordinary beauty to the building. Glass transmits up to 80% available natural daylight in both directions without any clouding or weathering, and also full weather resistance. It can be resisting to even sun and also to rain. Okay, so glass does not rust and it does not degrade gradually by chemical and surrounding environmental effect. And it is somehow the glossy surface. It is a dust proof, can be made dust proof by coating. One of the coating I told you is the nanoparticles, and it is allowed natural light to enter into the house, and it prevents the UV radiations also. It lowers the electricity bill, and it also can be used for the solar system. And the excellent insulator against the electricity, and it is unaffected by the noise, air, water and most of the acids. Hence discoloration alteration can be minimized. It can protect the inside from the outside barriers. And also glass has the ability to make the structure look more stunning. That is a luxurious look it can be there. It increases the aesthetic. Right? It is very good to see a glass building, but it is very costly, and it can be used to decorate the interiors, and it can be used to decorate some space, right? Okay. So the next one, it is unaffected by noise, air, water and most of the acids. It is that does not discolorate more easily. It is not affected by the acids easily, so it can be used. And also it is used for against outside barriers. And architectural point of view, this glass plays a very major role in upholding a structure rather than the internal view, right? The outside view can be enhanced by providing the glassy structures, and also and we saw the advantage. And what are the disadvantages? That the temperature can be easily passed through. The temperature without any coating materials, it will affect the internal temperature also. It is an expensive material and increases the cost of the building. I told you glass is very expensive than the ordinary windows and other materials. It is brittle, so it easily breaks. It is not rigid, and also it is having a less impact resistance. Impact is the force, that is the collision of the force. It is the heavy force that is acting. It will break, and it will be affected mostly by the external hydrofluoric acid, by which the lifetime of the glass can be reduced. And it is sometimes it is superiorly if it is transparent, then it allows the heat to flow into it, and it will be acting as a R value will be very high. And it is for earthquake and other natural agencies, it is not proven to be very safe, right? Okay, it is not safe for the earthquake areas, and it is free from painting expenses forever. But if you have to go in for a painting, it is very costly in it. And also for air conditioning rooms, for outside the boats or outside the walls, we can use it, but we cannot use glass alone as a heat barrier. And it is mainly used as a glass facade in building. But this is a major reason that additional cost of glass facade has to be given rather than the original walls. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages. So coming to the conclusion, actually this glass is one of the dominating material in the today's architectural world, or we can tell it as the civil engineering world, and we are using it for almost for the entire buildings. So many buildings are made up of outside full of glass, which doubles the weight of the building. Cost of the building gets doubles, but the aesthetic of the buildings is increased. Okay, so it is glass is also not only a filler materials, but it is used also nowadays for the supporting materials when it is interlocked between the strong layers. Okay, and GFRP sheet, as I told you, it is used for the repair materials, and it can be coated with weaving materials, and it can play a very important role. You can see some of the significance. This building mainly made up of full of glass, which is highlighting. Here you can see in China they have a full parkway made up of glass, right? I think you must have seen some WhatsApp messages where we can keep our leg. Sometimes it will give a breaky feeling. That is because of the scattering glass they have provided. And these are the glasses that you can see most in churches. Almost in the churches they have the paintings and they have. Okay. So in this class we have seen about the glass, the uses of glass, the properties of the glass, the types of glass, how glass is applied in the architectural point of view, in the construction, landscaping, and as a structural point of view, how it can be used. What is the advantage of glass, what are the disadvantages, and what is the significance of the glass. Okay, next class we will see about the bituminous material. Thank you.